There's a cave in China's western highlands that most maps don't bother to name. High in the unforgiving wilderness near the Tibetan plateau, a weather-worn mountain stands alone, scarred by time and crowned with a jagged peak that looks more like a pyramid than a product of nature. From its side juts something unexpected: pipes. Rusty metallic tubes that pierce the mountain rock and extend deep inside. Some run along the cliffside, others vanish beneath the waves of a nearby saltwater lake. They seem artificial, engineered, but they're embedded in stone that predates human history. Chinese scientists have tried to study them. Their instruments return strange readings: high concentrations of iron, traces of radiation, and something else. Something that couldn't be identified at all. Theories swirled. Explanations were proposed, then quietly shelved. Today the cave has been sealed off. The only answers lie in silence. But silence, as we've seen before, can be misleading. Welcome to History Footnotes and Fiascos, where we dig into the forgotten, the fringe, and the things that were never meant to be explained. Today we're chasing one of China's most bizarre mysteries, the Baigong Pipes. They were first brought to global attention in the early 2000s, though local rumours had whispered about them for far longer. In the desolate province of Qinghai, west of the city of Delingha, the Baigong Pipes lie hidden within the side of a lonely mountain. Locals call it the Pyramid of the Gods, though officially it's just Mount Baigong, a rugged, pyramid-shaped formation that overlooks the strange, salty expanse of Tuosu Lake. The mountain itself is largely barren, but one of its caves hosts something decidedly unnatural. Dozens of rigid, tubular structures embedded deep within the rock walls. More pipes can be seen snaking out across the ground, and still more have been found submerged beneath the salt water of the lake itself. That detail, the presence of these formations beneath a salt lake when a freshwater lake lies nearby, has only added fuel to speculation. At first glance, they look manufactured. Their lengths are uniform, their alignment is suspiciously precise. And they're everywhere, radiating outward from the cave like veins beneath the skin. Samples were collected, tests were run. The results only deepened the mystery. Chinese researchers from the government's Institute of Geology analyzed the material. The pipes were composed primarily of iron oxide, along with silicon dioxide and calcium oxide. But then things got strange. Roughly 8% of the samples couldn't be identified at all. Not as metal, not as mineral, just unknown. Even more curious, some of the formations gave off readings of low-level radiation. Not enough to pose an immediate health risk, but enough to raise questions. Where was it coming from? And why would a collection of supposedly ancient pipes be radioactive? But perhaps the most confounding discovery came from thermoluminescence dating, a method used to determine when minerals were last exposed to sunlight or heat. The estimate? Up to 150,000 years old. If that number holds true, then the Baigong Pipes predate Homo sapiens in East Asia by more than 100,000 years. In other words, they shouldn't exist, and yet they do. Some say the mystery of the Baigong Pipes has already been solved, that they're nothing more than an elaborate misreading of natural formations. But the explanations offered don't quite settle the dust. One of the more widely accepted theories is that the pipes are simply fossilized tree roots, ancient plant life that once stretched through the soil and eventually turned to iron through a process called permineralization. It's not impossible. Tree roots can, under the right conditions, leave behind tubes or tunnels that fill with mineral-rich water and harden into rock. Some of the Baigong pipes even display what resemble tree ring patterns, and traces of organic matter have been found in some samples. Still, the precision, quantity, and radial arrangement of the pipes gives even seasoned geologists pause. For every natural explanation, there's a shadow of something else, something harder to name. Others believe these pipes could be the result of natural sedimentation, where iron-rich water seeps into cracks and fissures, hardens and leaves behind long pipe-like structures. A similar process is seen in limonite tubes or concretion structures found in other regions of the world, but again the Baigong pipes are unusually symmetrical, purposeful. And then there's the matter of the ones beneath the lake. If these are merely the product of groundwater and iron, why do they extend beneath Tuosu Lake into the saltwater depths? Why there, and not in the neighbouring freshwater lake, which lies just a short distance away? The pipes seem tied to that location and that lake for a reason. Which is where things begin to spiral outward into the stranger realms of speculation. One of the most persistent fringe theories suggests that the Baigong pipes are the remnants of an ancient technological infrastructure, perhaps a hydraulic or energy system built by a forgotten civilization. Supporters of this theory point to the alignment of the pipes, their apparent connection to the lake, and the mineral composition as evidence of purposeful design. Some even argue the presence of aluminum alloys could hint at smelting or manufacturing processes far too advanced for ancient man. And then there are the extraterrestrial theories. Fueling this narrative is the pyramid-like shape of Mount Baigong itself. In the early 2000s, Chinese state media outlets ran reports suggesting that the site might have once served as a launch facility for alien spacecraft. These reports referenced the radial pipe formations, the sealed-off cave, and even local legends. Stories passed down through generations about celestial beings who came from the sky and settled near the mountain. Of course, these accounts are unverifiable. No carvings, no artifacts, just whispers and the unexplained pipes. Still, the location's remoteness, the silence from officials, and the eerie radiation readings have all played a part in keeping these otherworldly theories alive. If it wasn't built by us, then who or what left it behind? In the years following their discovery, the Baigong pipes became the focus of both scientific curiosity and public fascination. But just as quickly as they appeared in headlines, they vanished from them. At first, Chinese media encouraged exploration. A team of scientists from Beijing planned an expedition. Researchers from the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences expressed interest in further study. There was talk of answers. But then, silence. Access to the cave was quietly restricted. Government officials cited safety concerns. The mouth of the cave was sealed, and just like that, the most promising investigation into the pipes was over. No final report was released, no peer-reviewed findings, no explanation for the abrupt closure of one of China's most mysterious archaeological sites. Some pointed to radiation. A few early reports claimed that members of an analysis team had fallen ill after handling pipe fragments, though no official source ever confirmed that. Others speculated that the government, having realized the pipes didn't align with accepted historical narratives, chose to bury the mystery, literally. That decision, whether practical or political, opened the door to something harder to contain: myth. It's here that the Baigong pipes transcend geology and become something else entirely, an echo of all the world's unsolved artifacts, the outliers, the inconvenient puzzles. Because even if the pipes are natural, why do they look engineered? Why do they show up beneath a salt lake, but not in surrounding fresh water? And why, when the world finally turned its eyes toward them, were those eyes turned away again? The emotional weight of the Baigong Pipes isn't just in what they are, but in what they represent. We often think of history as a tidy, linear progression, cave to fire, bronze to steel, myth to satellite. But the deeper we dig, the more we find fractures in that story. We find what some archaeologists call orphaned artifacts, objects that don't belong to any known culture, that defy explanation, that appear thousands of years before they should. Tools with no hands to wield them, ruins with no people to build them, pipes embedded in rock older than our species. And when we find these things, we bury them again, whether to protect our narratives or ourselves. The Baigong Pipes remain where they've always been, half buried in a desert mountain, hidden beneath the waters of a silent lake. Whatever secrets they hold are sealed behind stone and silence. But some questions still linger, louder than ever. Why do so many of the pipes seem to radiate outward from a single point like spokes in a wheel, or arteries from a heart? Why is the nearby cave shaped like a pyramid, a form loaded with cultural and symbolic weight across ancient civilizations? Why are some of the pipes radioactive? And why, despite early enthusiasm from researchers, was the site so abruptly sealed and the investigation dropped without a trace? There are no settlements near the Baigong Pipes, no ancient roadways, no ruins, no carvings, no bones. If someone created this network, they left no other mark behind. Unless, of course, they weren't from here. To some, the pipes are merely a natural phenomenon, an anomaly of erosion and mineralization. To others, they're evidence of something far more profound, a glimpse at a forgotten chapter of human history. Or perhaps a chapter not human at all. But whether they were carved by groundwater or something else, one fact remains: they're not supposed to be there. And yet, there they are. What's your theory? A natural quirk of geology? Or something we're still not ready to understand? At History Footnotes and Fiascos, we chase stories like this, not because we expect clean answers, but because the questions remind us how little we really know. If this story pulled at your curiosity, give it a like, consider subscribing, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. If you've got a theory about the Baigong Pipes or another strange artifact lost to time, share it in the comments. We are interested in what you think happened in the mountains of Qinghai and are always looking for the next riddle to explore. Some puzzles weren't meant to be solved, but that doesn't mean we'll stop trying. Until next time, stay curious.